and I took them out. And you know what happened? Nothing. I got criticized. I saved 5,000 lives, actually. And we did a great job, and we're going to do an even better job because now we have a tremendous amount of experience. We have people that I can rely on. But the 625 million acres, people can't realize it's like the whole ocean. Take an acre. You know, an acre, you have a house on a half an acre, on a quarter of an acre, or an acre. If you have an acre, you have a big deal. Now you multiply that by 625 million acres. It's like, feels like the whole ocean. And that's our strength, you know? People can say we manufacture, we don't manufacture. The thing we have oil and gas more than anybody in the world. We're going to have more of it too. But they took away 625 million acres of offshore drilling. Nobody else does that. And they think they have it, but we'll put it back. I'm going to put it back on day one. I'm going to have it revoked on day one. We'll go immediately if we need to. I don't think we should have to go to the courts, but if we do have to go to the courts, you know, they try to be sneaky. They go in and they sign. Remember, this is a man that said he wants the transition to be smooth. Well, you don't do the kind of things. You don't have a judge working real hard to try and embarrass you because I did nothing wrong. By the way, I did nothing, absolutely nothing wrong. If I did something wrong, I wouldn't be standing here right now because I've won all these cases. Nobody's ever won so many cases as I have against the Justice Department. I mean, Jack Smith had cases all over the place. People were being subpoenaed, lives were being ruined. They were spending everything they had, money. We were helping them out. We had to. They were subpoenaing people from that had no idea what they were even talking about. That's a sick group of people. And it was all to influence the election. It was all a fight against a political opponent. We've never had that in this country. We have had that in certain countries. We've had that in third tier countries. We've had that in banana republics, but we've never had that in a place like the United States. I don't even know if it's been on a small level. I'm sure it has been on a small level, but this was the largest level ever. They brought this moron out of The Hague. He's a mean guy. He's a mean, nasty guy. His picture was perfect because you look at his picture, you say, that's a bad guy with his robe, his purple robe. And he executes people. He shouldn't be allowed to execute people because he'll execute everybody. He's a nut job. But we won all of those cases with him. And I mean, I don't know the judge in Florida, but we had a brilliant judge in Florida that saw right through it. And we won the case. She was a brilliant judge with great courage. You know, the left, as we call them, the radical left, they have a way, they play the ref, and they play it very hard. They play the ref. They go and say horrible things about judges and prosecutors. And some judges and prosecutors say, look, the only way I'm going to get these people off my back is to give victory to them. They're playing the ref. I think it's illegal what they do. It's almost like talking. It's worse than talking to a judge. But the judge in Florida, Judge Cannon, was brilliant and tough, and she didn't stand for it. And I don't know her, and never met her until the case, and I don't believe I said even one word to her. But she was very, very strong and very, very brilliant, and her opinion was so brilliant that they dropped their appeal. They couldn't beat the appeal. So that's what we're up against. So they say we're going to have a smooth transition. All they do is talk. It's all talk. Everything they do is talk. We're going to have a smooth transition. And then they take 625 million acres and they essentially landmark it so you can't ever drill there again. Well, we're going to be drilling soon. We're going to be opening up Anwar. We're going to be doing all sorts of things that nobody ever thought was even possible. But remember and just to get off the subject, because I couldn't believe it when I heard it yesterday. I couldn't believe the size of it. I mean, you put down a map and put this up. It's just massive. And remember that that's worth probably, I mean, I've had estimates, 40 to 50 trillion dollars. That's more than our national debt. Essentially, he's thrown it away. He's thrown it away. He's taken 50 trillion dollars. So if we owe 35 trillion, he's taken 50 trillion dollars of value and thrown it right out the window. We can't do that. Nobody can do that. One other thing he did yesterday, which was in many ways worse. It's hard to believe it can be worse. He wants all gas heaters out of your homes and apartments. He wants them to be replaced by essentially electric heaters. I don't know what it is with electric. This guy loves electric. We're going to be ending the electric car mandate quickly, by the way. This guy loves electric. And we don't have enough electricity. And then we have AI where we need more. And he wants everybody to have an electric heater instead of a gas heater. Gas heater is much less expensive. The heat is much better. It's a much better heat. As the expression goes, you don't itch. Does anybody have a heater where you go and you're scratching? And that's what they want you to have. They don't want you to have gas where you don't have the problems of the electric. And the source is plentiful. They're much cheaper to operate. They're much better. They work much better. They look much better. 60% of homes and apartments have gas heaters. He wants them all removed quickly. These people are crazy. There's something wrong with them. There's something wrong with them. They also want to go back, and they have already started that, to when you buy a faucet, no water comes out because they want to preserve. Even in areas that have so much water, you don't know what to do. It's called rain. Comes down from heaven, and they want to do no water comes out of the shower. It goes drip, drip, drip. So what happens? You're in the shower 10 times as long. No water comes out of the faucet. You want to wash your hands. They want to go back to even stronger than what they have right now. As you know, I ended that policy. You can have all the water you want. Makes no difference. It comes weird, especially in certain areas. We have so much water, we don't know what to do with it. But these are all things. They want very, very little water to go into your dishwasher, almost none. And you know what people do? They just keep pressing, keep it going. They end up using more water. Likewise, washing machines. They want in your washing machine to have very little water coming out of the washing machine. So when you wash your clothing, you have to wash it 4 times instead of once. You end up using more water. We're a party of common sense, and things that I'm telling you now is really all about common sense. On January 20th, we'll turn the economy around very quickly, because right now when I think of our economy, I think about inflation. That's what we have. We have inflation, I believe, at a level that we never had before. There's never been anything like it. And over the next 4 years, the United States is going to take off like a rocket ship. But really, it's already doing it. If you take a look, just last month, SoftBank announced the $200 billion. I think it'll be 200. He said between 100, and I said, how about making it 200? And he sort of said yes, but let's say it's 100, but it might be 200, right, Brian? Dollars, United States, creating more than 100,000 jobs. Hussein just announced a tremendous investment that he's going to make, and that's money that's in the bank. He's going to come and do it, and he'll do a great job, and he'll build the best centers in the country, I guarantee, because I know the way he builds. Since my election, the stock market has set records. The S&P 500 index has broken above 6,000 points for the first time ever, never even close. In a single month, small business optimism soared 41 points. It's not a 41. It went up 41 points. And that's the largest in the 39-year history of the group that does it. According to Gallup, the American people's confidence in the economy has just surged to the highest level in history. That's why I have a news conference like that. I take the greatest business leaders in the world. I say, hey, do you want to say you're going to invest the money? They're not looking for news conferences. They're saying, what am I doing here? They go in and they invest money, but it's good to know where the smartest business people in the world are investing, and they're investing in the United States. So we've done this all in 2 months of not being there. We haven't been there. And it's pretty amazing. And we think we're going to do some really great things, really great things. We're being respected again all over the world. The Panama Canal is a disgrace, what took place at the Panama Canal. Jimmy Carter gave it to them for $1, and they were supposed to treat us well. I thought it was a terrible thing to do. It was the most expensive structure ever built in the history of our country, relatively. It would be the equivalent of substantially over $1 trillion today. We lost 38,000 people. Think of it, 38,000 people, they died from malaria.
Check.
Mosquitoes. They were unable to stop the mosquitoes. They paid people
One, two,
five
three.
times more
Check.
to take the job. Many of those people died. We gave it away
We
for a
got Ben
dollar.
10 2.2.
But the deal was that,
B1.
they have to treat us
New
fairly.
president in
They
the
don't treat
house.
us
We got
fairly. They charge
B1.
more for our ships than they charge
Micah
for ships
G.
of other
Every,
countries.
everything
They
do is
charge
talk.
more for our Navy than they charge for navies of other countries. They laugh at us because they think we're stupid, but we're not stupid anymore. So the Panama
They laugh at us because they think we're stupid, man. Come on, Donald Trump. Let's go.
Agreement, and they've morally violated it also. Uh, and they want our help because it's leaking and not in good repair. And they want us to give $3 billion to help fix it. I said, well, why don't you get the money from China? Because China's basically taken it over. China's at both ends of the Panama Canal. China's
Get
running
money
the
from
Panama
China, man.
Canal.
That's what's
And
up.
they come to see this Biden, this guy who should never have been allowed even to run.
Oh my gosh, man. That's wild. That's wild. Micah G said USA, USA, MAGA. But B1, man. Who did this, man? Who did this? That's crazy. He's still trying to blame it to the previous administration, Biden.
Going through, and the numbers are staggering, half a million to $1 million a ship. And they took it away from us, meaning we gave it to them for a dollar. But not going to happen. What they've done to us, they've charged us, they've overcharged our ships, overcharged our Navy.
Man, they overcharge. So man, that's crazy, man. That's wild. Donald Trump, dude, he's a businessman.
Slash regulations, raise wages, and boost incomes at a pace the world has not seen before, and certainly not from our country. We had a big chunk of it for the first 3 years of prior to COVID coming in my administration. We had the greatest economy in history. We cut the most regulations in the history of our country, and I did that all in 4 years, by 4 times more than any other president cut. We did that in 4 years, and we were just getting started. We'll impose new tariffs so that the products on our stores will once again be stamped with those beautiful words "Made in the USA." And
There
we
you
are not
go.
treated well, as you know, by Canada.
There we go. We're gonna do made in the USA. That's good. That's what's up.
$100 billion a year, plus other things. They don't essentially have a military. They have a very small military. They rely on our military. It's all fine, but they got to pay for that. It's very
Hey, shout out to the three people that's here. Shout out. I see you guys. Man, Donald Trump got, dude, there's a lot, of course. 65K watching
He's
com-
going to run for prime minister or
compared
governor.
to
You
me,
tell
three
me. I
people.
said, I said, I don't know. Let's make it governor. I like it better. But no, something's going to have to be done. Same thing with Mexico. We have a massive deficit with Mexico, and we help Mexico a lot. They're essentially run by the cartels, and can't let that happen. Mexico's really in trouble, a lot of trouble. Very dangerous place. And we're going to be announcing a future date pretty soon. We're going to change because we do most of the work there, and it's ours. We're going
Oh my. we do, people are gonna be mad at this. We do most of the work there. But they do come here. They do come here. I see it. It is a dangerous place, and there's always turf wars, mafia wars, whatever. And yeah, even their own army, yeah, or and police are scared of the mafia. Hey, hi, what's going on, man?
and it's appropriate. It's appropriate. And Mexico has to stop allowing millions of people to pour into our country. They can stop them, and we're going to put very serious tariffs on Mexico and Canada because Canada they come through Canada too, and the drug.
Oh man, to the Canada, we were just talking about that earlier. We had somebody new viewer. It's really bad. They said in Canada because Justin Trudeau, the prime minister, just quit because yeah, he doesn't have any. Um, I guess they don't trust him no more. Pretty much in layman's term. I forgot the word that they use, but yeah, Mexico and Canada, man, watch out. Donald Trump is yeah. Here he comes.
Number one, we're number three. I made us number one in a very short period of time in drilling. And you know, you can talk about windmills. They litter our country. They're littered all over our country, like dropping paper, like dropping garbage in a field, and that's what happens to them because in a period of time they turn to garbage. Most expensive energy ever. They only work if you get subsidy. The only people that want them are the people that are getting rich off windmills, getting massive subsidies from the U.S. government, and it's the most expensive energy there is. It's many, many times more expensive than clean natural gas. So we're gonna try and have a policy where no windmills are being built. You know, off
What? Even windmills are expensive? Man, they look good. Sheesh, man. Donald Trump is really gonna restart all the. How about the battery, man? The battery over here, they're trying to make all electric cars, man. That's why I got a Tesla. It's expensive.
70 stories tall. The blades, they take 3 ships to ship them. It's crazy. They're dangerous. You see what's happening up in the Massachusetts
Dude,
area.
somebody commented they're 51. So Canada will be the 51 state because there's 50 states, right? So Canada. That's what Donald Trump said too, man. That's what to say, man. That's just too much, man. That's too much. Canada's big. Canada's huge.
Over a number of years, and we don't want that to happen. It's a disaster from it's amazing the way a true environmentalist would say, "Oh, we love wind." It sounds good, but that's about where it ends. You know, after 10 years, you have to redo them. And what happens is they don't do that. They let them stand and they rust. And they say, because of the environment, I'm not a believer in this, but they say you can, because it's a certain fiberglass, that the blades cannot be buried in earth, that that's an environment. So what do you do with them? What do you do with them? And I don't know if you've ever gone to Palm Springs, California, or any of these places where you have long term windmills standing. They're a disaster. They're rusting, rotting, closed, falling down. This is as you enter Palm Springs. And they put new ones next to them because nobody wants to take them down. Because why should they take them down? It's very expensive to take them down. And you can't do anything with them because the blades, you can't bury them because of the environmental protection. We'll look at that. Doesn't make sense, but that's what they say. So we are at the beginning of a great, beautiful golden age of business. And I think we're also at a golden age of common sense because everything I'm saying to you,
Beautiful golden age of common sense and business.
to all of the other elements of what we do and what we're going to do, uh, to take 50 to 60 trillion dollars off our country's balance sheet because some man that has no idea what he's doing, he has no idea. You know it, I know it, the Democrats know it. What they did is a crime by allowing that to happen. And I'll bet you, if you asked him today, how much acreage did you submit? Essentially, did you destroy? You destroyed the economic viability of drilling in the ocean. And with AI coming along and all, you know, a lot of people don't realize that AI is going to be a big thing, but you'll need double the electricity at least that we have right now. So right now we produce electricity for many, many different things. AI is a very big deal in terms of the future. China is already building electric facilities, big, bold electric facilities. And you know how they're being fired up? With coal. They're being fired up with coal. And we're going to build bigger and better ones. People like Hussein that are doing the same thing as he is. I'll bet they don't do it as well because I know how he does it, but they're doing a lot of things. The problem is they can't get their permits because I say build the plant with the building. So with the structure, build the plant because if you go into grid, the grids are old. So they said, that's a great idea. In other words, build your electric facility alongside of your plant. And you could have extra output if you want, because once you build it, you can make it larger pretty inexpensively. You could have extra output, which you'll sell to the public, but build it with the plant. And people are loving that idea. So we're going to have a lot of fun making America great again. And it's going to happen, I think, very, very quickly. It's already happened. So I would say this, and this has been pretty openly reported by the news. There's never been anything like what's happened in the list since we won the election. couple of months since we won the election, the whole perception of the whole world is different. People from other countries have called me. They said, thank you. Thank you. The perception of the whole world is different. We're going to have to settle some big problems that are going on right now. We're going to have to settle up with Russia, Ukraine. That's a disaster. I look at numbers every week, the number of people being killed in that war. People don't know, mostly soldiers now. But the towns have been obliterated. This was a Biden fiasco that he got as he could, that should have never happened. If we had a real president, if we had a president that knew what he was doing, Russia would have never, ever gone in. But they did go in, and we have a mess. The cities are all blown up. The people have largely left. And the soldiers are killing each other at levels that haven't been seen since the Second World War. So we'll have to get that one straightened out, too. That's a tough one. Much tougher than it would have been before it started. I can tell you that. The deal could have been made just by an average deal maker. Deal could have been made on that. So thank you all for coming. We'll take a couple of questions. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. If you were involved in a car accident and you were not at fault, listen to this. Insurance companies don't want you to know. You may qualify for much more compensation than they offer you. Don't fall for their pressure. Don't speak to insurance companies directly. Anything you say to them may be used against you. Your compensation goes far beyond paying for your car. You may have a right to have your expenses, pains, lost wages, and medical bills covered. With Compensationally, you fill out this application in under a minute. Click submit, and you find out if you qualify. If you do, you get connected to a local attorney that deals with insurance companies and can prepare your case. This is a free service, and the attorney only gets paid if you win. Don't let lack of information be the reason you don't get paid what may be rightfully yours. Fill up the short application and find out if you qualify. Remember, this is free and no lawyer is paid unless you win your case.
A mama bear will choose Genexa when her cub is sick. It has the same effective pain and fever medicine as leading brands, but made with good, clean ingredients. So you can both feel better. Genexa.
Canal now because it's inappropriate, I guess, but because it's a bad part of the Carter legacy. But
Sorry, guys, I went to the
look,
restroom.
he was a good man. I knew him.
Hi,
And he was a
I
very
once
fine
streamed
person,
Trump
but
went.
that was a big mistake. Giving the Panama
Yeah.
Canal to Panama was a very big.
I once streamed Trump went to my house, forgot, and got mad by my adobo and left right. Just Tesla. Tell mo. You're talking about Panama Canal now.
Sure, if we call it a structure, which I guess you can, ever built. And giving that away was a horrible thing. And I believe that's why Jimmy Carter lost the election, even more so than the hostages. Those two things.
Follow up on Ukraine and Iran, the two negotiations you'll be
So I guess it's Q&A now. So
heading into.
I don't even know Panama Canal, but I just heard that it is crazy how they build the Panama Canal and stuff. So tell me about you guys. How do you know about anything about Panama Canal?
On Ukraine, you said just before it's a lot more complicated now.
Much more.
Provide a security guarantee if they do enter into an armistice or a ceasefire along the lines that the French and the Germans.
So, a big part of the problem was Russia for many, many years, long before Putin said you could never have NATO involved with Ukraine. Now, they've said that that's been like written in stone. And somewhere along the line, Biden said, no, they should be able to join NATO. Well, then Russia has somebody right on their doorstep, and I could understand their feeling about that. But there were a lot of mistakes made in that negotiation. And when I heard the way that Biden was negotiating, I said, you're going to end up in a war. And it turned out to be a very bad war. And it could escalate. That war could escalate to be much worse than it is right now.
Yeah, there's still a war right now.
Well, my view is that it was always understood. In fact, I believe that they had a deal and then Biden broke it. They had a deal which would have been a satisfactory deal to Ukraine and everybody else, but that Biden said, no, you have to be able to join NATO.
He's so mad at it. Oh man, Biden broke the deal.
And that's always been, and nobody knows more about NATO than I. Years ago when I first started this, I didn't know too much about NATO, but I got it right anyway. I said they're taking advantage. I'm the one that got, and the Secretary General was here, as 2 weeks ago.
Ano ba mo ba? Ano? Na for life ko siya, no? Na for life nawala daw siya, no? For life. Ba naman pogo? For life ka tuloy.
Saying that if it weren't for me, NATO.
Dude, that's crazy. No more mumbling Joe. That's wild. Guys, hindi pa natin dinidiinan ang mga selectable ball. Si selectable, ganun din ang gagawin sa akin yan eh. Oh, Joe's English, ganun ang ginagawa niya kay Boji. Selectable, kayong mga selectable ba? Na off topic na naman tayo. Ito kasi Talmok, ang kulit eh. Si Hai pala, si Hai eh. Saglit lang, dito tayo sa kay Trump.
Wouldn't even exist right now because I raised from countries that weren't paying their bills. At that time, 28 countries, 20 of them were not paying their bills, 21 to be exact. They weren't paying, or they were paying a very small portion. And I raised over $680 billion. That was the number he gave by saying, if you don't pay, we're not going to protect you. And as soon as I said that, the money came pouring in. But Obama could have said it.
If you don't pay, businessman talaga to si Trump. If you don't pay, yan. Talagang malupit si Trump. Ito si Telmo. Telmo, kung ibaban kita eh. Master ka ng master. Kulit nito. What can you say about Biden pardoning his own son when he lost his election, but during campaign, he promised not to intervene? Hey, you know what? Tatay yan eh. And si Biden, ewan ko sa kanya, bago siya yun lang naman talagang gusto niya. Man. Crooked talaga. Man. Mga nabayaran niya ng mga China. Ayan.
Some people didn't pay anything, but many people were way, including Germany. Germany was at less than 1%. Well, I think NATO should have 5%. Yeah. Well, you can't do it at 2. I mean, at 2%, every country, if you're going to have a country in a regular military, you're at 4%. I think they should be, they're in dangerous territory. I think it should be, they can all afford it, but they should be at 5%, not 2%. I'm the one that got them to pay 2%. But a gentleman stood up, a prime minister stood up, and he said to me, sir, could I ask you a question? You're saying we have to pay our bills. If we don't pay our bills, will the United States protect us from Russia? I said, if you don't pay, you mean you're delinquent? He said, yes. He said, if you're delinquent, we will not protect you. I took a lot of heat, although it was somewhat closed door. I took a lot of heat from the media. And you know what happened? The money started pouring in.
Yeah, you gotta pay because we're giving you nothing is free. We're paying for that. If you don't pay, we're not gonna. Come on now.
That's why NATO has money. And the Secretary General said it was the most incredible thing he had ever seen in a negotiation. Now, if I would have said, yes, we will, nobody would have paid. If I would have loved to say, yes, we'll protect you even if you don't pay. But that's not the way life works.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, Donald Trump is not a politician, man. He's a good negotiator. He's a good man. Well, like I said, I'm not like a fanatic of Donald Trump or anything like that, but man, that's what we need right now.
Two questions related to each other. First, you said on your first day of office, you're going to pardon January 6th defendants. Are you planning to pardon those who were charged with violent offenses?
Well, we're looking at it, and we have other people in there. And as you see, I guess 24 or 28 people came now from the FBI that came out very quietly. Nobody reported it, but they had people in some form related to the FBI. They had 4 or 5 people that were strongly related to the FBI. We have to find out about that. We have to find out about Hezbollah. We have to find out about who.
Dang, January 6th. I don't know if you guys remember January 6th when.
Because that's part of it.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. January 6th. Talmok mala badala. No. Badalatris is a different person. I'm just Joe being Joe. I'm back. Hey, Skello's back. What's up, man? Are you still playing Fortnite or what?
But I will say it was Turkey. Turkey's been after that country in different names and different forms and shapes for 2,000 years. Those people that went in are from Turkey. And President Erdogan is a friend of mine. He's a guy I like, respect. I think he respects me also. He's the one that didn't go after certain people after I requested that he not. You know who I'm talking about? The Kurds. I don't know how long that's going to because they're natural enemies. They hate each other. But he didn't do that yet. And he didn't do it in the past also.
Man, look at this guy. Look at this. He saw that he commenting all Chinese, man, or Korean, and that guy's dumb dumb. Sometimes I'll have that. Telmok. I don't know if you saw that. Sometimes I'll let the moderator, man, block that dude, man. He can't even communicate. He's trying to stupid, man.
He started, and I said, please don't do that. And he didn't do it. So, but if you look at what happened with Syria, Russia was weakened, Iran was weakened, and he's a very smart guy. And he sent his people in there through different forms and different names, and they went in and they took over, and that's the way it is.
Do you have concerns about HTS taking control?
Words.
But you know what, guys? Oh, somebody here comment abolish social security. If we do abolish social security, like the the old people, or yeah, social security is a big, it is a business, because I'm getting taxed for that. People are getting, free benefits like medical and stuff. That's what they use, is the social security. So if you abolish that, man, everything will, man, I don't know. I don't know. But we'll end here, guys. We'll end because we're 30 minutes in, and man, this is Joe Lewis of Ship Sneakers, man. Like Telmok says, parang badong alat. I'm not a political blogger. I'm just, it's just my opinion, but I'm not getting paid for my opinion. Okay. Oh man, I mean, I'm just having fun with you guys, man. But like earlier, we have to know reality versus fantasy. If you're gonna go come up here or come to any channel, if you're gonna have masusunog talaga kayo. Tulad nito, ship, may challenge ako sa alam mo, hi, parang totoo talaga. Kasi when I speak English and or all the slangs, some of the slangs are over here are updated that I know. Slangs of the alpha, the Gen Z, that I don't, like cap, that's cap, like skibbity or all those, man, I don't even know all that, man. But the thing is, I have my own slang that I pick and choose that I would, like, that's cap, meaning that's a lie, or that's you're out of pocket, meaning you cross the line. And when all these guys, I mean, the tatlong oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh. I'm not even gonna mention their name, bro. I'm not. These guys are crying me a river, crying me a river, crying me a river, man. You guys are dumb dumbs, bro. Honestly, you guys are dumb dumbs. Because just because I'm saying dumb dumb, you guys all have the right to come on, Boji. You're one of the dumb dumb too, man. Bugok. Ay, sasabihin mo bugok, oh. Ay, nako po. Man, like logically, Boji, and with respect, I mean, I know we talk and everything offline, but Boji, we have things that we don't even agreed on. So we just agree to disagree. And like I said, you have to differentiate fantasy to reality. All online stuff are those are just, man, fantasy. Fantasy, like Boji would say, baragan tayo online. Pero pag nagkita, mga magbe-best friend. So, shout out to Skelo, Telmok. I'm gonna show you guys. Yeah, hi. We cannot do the likes here. The game that we do, we can't do that because yeah, I can't see it. Ben 10. Uh, B1, Micah G. Thank you guys. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a short life, and hey, Donald Trump, man, confirmed. Or what's the next step? I don't even know. Or they appointed already by the electoral. Oh, there you go. So electoral. I'll show you guys. Last one, since there's still two people that's here. The last one is here. So 26 or 6 January 6th right now, right? January 6th, yeah. Congress counts the electoral votes. So the Congress, so they did that already. So that now they're confirming it. So so that's why Donald Trump is giving the speech at Mar-a-Lago. And now January 20th, 2025 at noon, inauguration day, the 20th, the president-elect and vice president-elect take the oath of office and become the president and the vice president. Who's the vice president? JD Vance, right? So with that being said, guys, these are just current events, and this is what's been going on. And this is Joe Lewis of SD, the janitor of Ship Sneakers, signing out.